This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Now they finish this without leaving it around 5. So your energy on the beach, super critical. Make these boys around 5, the overall point score. And as we've seen already, whenever critical, I think those that are in red zone, I believe, are already qualified up into that top 12 shootout. So all of a sudden the points can be flowing upside down.
So it's Sunday, which means I want a little nature adventure. William was supposed to come with me, but he's going to meet me a little bit later. So I'm at Maroubra Beach at the minute, and there's like crazy waves, but there's also some sort of contest going on. There's loads of people down at the beach, and there's these, I was going to say boats, but I'm sure they're surfboards going out, and people are on their bellies now, paddling crazy, and they're all in a line, and then they're coming around like a thing floating out at sea, and then they're going to come back around. I'll just give you a little glimpse here so I can show you. So I don't know if you can see, they are coming back around now. What? Look at those waves. And there's someone on an intercom, not an intercom, look at that speaker. Look at them, they're flying. Look at them go, Jesus. Lovely. Green. Well, this is where I'm going on my walk. Let's wander up here. Oh, snakes have been sighted. Let's bloody see. There's birds spotted. It kind of looks like some of the birds I see now. Oh, it's a little bit different. There's usually these like brown and black birds with a yellow kind of bit around their eyes and around their beak. This guy looks a little fluffier. Hey cutie, show me your face. Oh, he's so cute. Yeah, he's a little bit similar. Maybe he's a cousin of the other lads that I see. So we're in South Maroubra. This is like up past the beach, and I'm hoping to go up around this like cliff through the bush a bit. This is not enough bush for me now. There's too much path. I need a bit more bush. Okay, it's giving me a bit more bush now, but it's all the sand. And I didn't think about this because it's going in my shoes. I'm very aware now that I've seen so many signs for snakes. And I've actually seen a snake every weekend for the last 2 weekends. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled. After seeing them last weekend in this that reptile man that was telling us the names and the different ways that they move, and seeing that I think it was a brown snake that moves so fast, I'm like, oh, whoa, I'm keeping my eyes out. Okay, I'm back on a path now. I actually bought William a little snack, but I don't think he's going to come now. But this was in memory of him. Butterfinger. This is an Aussie snack that I've yet to taste. And as it's a Sunday, you gotta have a little chocolate. Little lizard. Hey, little guy. It's actually feeling like it's gonna rain a bit. I don't mind. This is bringing me back to a couple of weeks ago when I saw that black snake. It was a red belly black snake. That's what the name was, because it was black and had a red belly. The name's very simple here. Brown snake is brown. That rock looks a little bit like me and Will did a little hike a couple years ago when I came to visit. Ooh, look at those waves. And it was Eagle Rock. Kind of looked like a tortoise head though. But it's jutting out there. It was such a nice hike actually. I don't know whereabouts it was, but it was cool because we went there and it was quite hot. It was all jungly and you're walking through the jungle a bit, and then it got a little bit more kind of flat with bush and like a little bit of a kind of dirt road, and then it came to some cliffs. And then we went to look down at a little insect at one point, and we're like, oh my god, look at this guy. And then I turned around to see this huge grey cloud behind us. I was like, that is a storm coming for us. So we kind of got to the cliff and we found a cool little spot to sit, and we got a little it was kind of on the cliff in a little cave that we could sit, and it was like a shelf. So we were covered and protected from the rain, and we got to see this amazing storm come, and like the light changed and the sky went all dark, and then we saw the lightning and the rain came down, and it was like, I like being in a storm. Obviously not getting soaking wet, but being in a storm was very exciting. And then we kind of ran. We had decided it was a bit late, so we had to run back. So we ran through the rain, and the storm was really, really fun. And then towards the end, the storm had dried up. Just keeping my eyes out. Eyes peeled for snakes. I don't know, I'd like to see them before they can see me anyway. I do like the sounds of the waves, but I really prefer the sounds of the birds. There's like a little birdie in there, I can hear him. Hi little birdie. Yeah, I do like being beside the beach and the waves and seeing water, but I am missing like mountains and the view from them, and a little bit more forests. It's funny, different like environments, I think people are drawn to. I actually was talking about this earlier in the week, human design. If you are interested, it's a little bit like doing your birth chart. You put in your details, but it actually gives you the environment that apparently you thrive in the most. So different environments people will thrive in. I know one of my friends and her partner both had valleys, and they actually live in a valley, interestingly. One of my other friends got kitchens as her environment, and she likes to cook and be in a home, and that's kind of maybe where she just thrives the most. I can hear some of the birdies again now. And then one of my aunts, she thrives in caves, but it might not necessarily be a cave, but her home and the homes that she's had have always been her little nest. So something about caves is that you like to kind of find a little corner, make your little haven in this little nest, and that's where you thrive best. And she said she related to that. So I don't know, there's some truth to it, because apparently mine is mountains, and I definitely like mountains. And I like being on a mountain, near a mountain. I feel at home near a mountain. But anyway, the birds reminded me of this beautiful, it was like an audiobook, like a soundscape that you could listen to birds. Yeah, must have been on Audible or something, because you could listen to birds in different places in the world. And there was one in like the countryside in England, and then there was in the Amazon, and then there was somewhere else, like different times of the day that you hear birds, and it was the loveliest sound. So I prefer the sounds of birds over the sounds of waves. That's what I've decided. Oh, birdie. Okay, I'm coming your way. Oh, there's a big spider. We can hear the birdie though. Where are you, little guy? I can hear you, I just can't see you. Oh, there's one. Oh, there's a bit of it. Now, I want to climb over there. That seems like a climbable place. Maybe not. How do I get there? Oh, a little opening. Let's see. Yep. How do I get to... Oh, yeah. That looks fun. It's like the Burren. look over the edge, not too close to the edge. A little peek. Oh, look, a blowhole. Oh, that's cool. I love that color, like when it's a little light blue, the waves crashing. Oh, that looks like somewhere fun down underneath. Look at that. That one definitely looks like a turtle head. It looks like Crush from Finding Nemo. See you later, dude. Looks pretty cool. Nemo's swimming out to sea. Yeah, it's just me talking to myself. William, where are you? It's okay. I can have a chat to myself. Let's go this way. I figure it's too long to turn back and it's raining, so I'm going to find a spot to hide in. Shelter from the rain. Is there anywhere I can hide here? Maybe with a nice view. No snakes here. Oh my gosh. This is a cool spot. Okay. A little bit of shelter. Does this one have a bit of shelter? Let me try it out. If I stand here a little bit. Let's hope the rain's not that heavy coming in. Oh, that's cool down there. Having the chats with myself on my own little nature exploration. I was hoping to go all the way around. I will go. It just depends how heavy this rain is. Look at these waves. Oh my god. There's a big one. Wow. They're actually bigger than they look on the video. Oh, that's a big one. Yeah. So I found a spot to sit in. I don't know if it's actually raining. It just started to feel like it was. So I was like, okay, there's a nice little viewing area. I got some feedback today from one of the studios that I teach in. So I teach Pilates and yoga there. And I'm not actually a Pilates instructor, but I have done a good bit of research and I'm a personal trainer, so I know the body, and a yoga teacher, so I know how to create a class and flow. So I experienced a couple Pilates classes and then been designing my own. But the owner told me right before class that I was teaching that I need to make it a little bit harder, a little bit more challenging. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I was going too easy on people. But yeah, I suppose I always sense the class, like the energy in the class, and that's why I kind of tailor. Like I have a plan, but I'll tailor it to suit. So when I hear people being like, oh, I'm like, okay, and it's a bit tough. And then people are quiet, I'm like, okay, let's up the ante a bit. But yes, it definitely bruises the ego a little bit, but that's okay because I can choose to learn from it or run away from it. Feedback is a good thing sometimes because it can definitely like I think I'll have a bit of, what's that word, imposter syndrome. Definitely teaching Pilates because I'm not a Pilates instructor, but I go in there with the feeling that I have when I go into another kind of class that I would be confident teaching. But then there's probably a little side of me that I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. People are going to judge me, and because they can give feedback on each class, you're like, oh my god, I'm being constantly reviewed. But I can learn from it. I can definitely make it harder. I just need to plan a little bit more. But today's class I actually thought was pretty hard, so whether it's just one class from last week that some lady came to that she just thought it was too easy, I was like, that's fine. That's okay because I'm not a Pilates teacher. I am a I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a yoga teacher, and I'm very excited about my yin yoga class this evening. But in life, I definitely feel a little imposter syndrome going in. Like last week I had a trial in this studio that I definitely could see myself teaching in, but because it's done to a certain standard, it made me feel a little bit restricted when I was teaching, that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna feel like I'm not good enough doing this. But I think in any job when you start it, you're gonna feel not good enough, and then that could prevent you from like pursuing it a bit more and trying it out. So I'm going to use my courage and just bloody go for it, and if I don't succeed, then that's fine. I've learned something else, and maybe it just doesn't suit me. There's a part of me that in this job I don't really want to do it, because it's not the way I would like to teach. It's just a little bit too high intensity for me, and it doesn't really align with what I preach. Balance and listening to your body, but also challenging it, but just not maybe it's just one of the classes that just I'm like but we shall see. We'll see how it goes next week. I think that imposter syndrome is a good thing sometimes, because we're like, oh my god, it just keeps you on your toes, because you're like, oh, I want to be good, I want to be good, I want to be good, I want to be good. But it's also okay to not be liked and not be accepted. I'm trying to learn. I get some weird comments on some videos, and I'm like, I'm just going to delete that, because that's not doing anyone any good. That's not nice, and it's weird, and I don't need, like, this is not necessary feedback, or people feel like they can give you their own opinion, and you're like, is this constructive, or is this just weird? Okay, delete. So it's knowing what feedback to take and what feedback to put in the bin. Right, well, I've had a dance, and there is a bit of rain, but it's not enough to keep me here. Although this rock is very beautiful. I've had a little look at it. Oh, when I touch it, it comes off. Sandstone, I imagine. That makes sense. Look, it's so red though. Red and orange and yellow. And there's some green, and then some blue, and then some waves. Right, so I'm going to continue on my adventure, because I can't be staying here all day, sitting looking at the bloody waves. Oh my gosh, that was like a spiral wave. Hold on, look at this. They're getting a bit bigger. Woo! Like a little whirlpool or something going on down there. Wow! Did you hear that? It sounds like something smacking against the wall, like the power of the waves. Ooh, it's powerful. It's actually a little bit cold. It's like 20 degrees today, and it was, well, I think it's 21 or 20 today here, and it was 41 yesterday. It's a bit of a drop. It feels like a summer day in Ireland. Bit of cloud, bit of rain, bit of heat. It's actually a bit more rain now that I've stepped out of the safety of my cave. I did hear something as I was walking, and I thought it was a snake. This rain reminds me of Ireland. Isn't it funny? When you're away from home, you think of it so much more. And the little things that you miss. This is very beautiful though. You got to be where you are. But at the same time, the heart can't help but miss the little familiarities of home. Oh, I'm hearing lots of noises now. I don't know. I feel like there will be snakes under this, so maybe I should look down. So they've got a little thing to stand on, so you're not having to crawl in between the rocks. I can hear up above the trees now a little bit. I'm trying to decide at what point I turn back. If the rain gets a little bit heavier, I might have to, because I did not bring an umbrella. I don't even own an umbrella here. I doubt there's going to be anywhere to... Oh, look! Hello to you too! Back to a bit of rock now. I'm walking in silence for About 20 minutes now, which has been nice. Just listening to my own thoughts, and then listen to the birds, and listen to the rain and the sound of the waves. I do like to be in silence. I do spend a good bit of the day in silence. So when I do talk to someone or myself, as I do here, I'm like blah 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 blah. This is what I've been thinking about all day long. But I like to take a little bit more time being quiet and just observe and listen. It's a nice little swirly path here. Yeah, the rain hasn't got heavier really, so I'm just gonna keep on going. I read this beautiful book a couple years ago now by Eckhart Tolle. It's called Stillness Speaks, and it's really lovely at helping you practice being present, but also bringing awareness to your thoughts, because we are not our thoughts. You are not your thoughts, and that stillness is always there. And knowing when you become aware of your thoughts that they're just worries and emotions and making up ideas about the future and thinking about things about the past, and they're just blah, blah, blah. And you can just let them move through your mind and pass through, and then you can come back to your stillness. And being in nature can help that too. So I'm just going to stand here for a moment and actually be still and turn this off and just absorb it all in. Yeah, stillness is always here. It's in nature. It's in silence. It's in deep listening, not listening to respond, but just listening and taking it in. And I think, I know from reading that book as well, that our ego is our main source of suffering. So the ego cannot exist without thinking. And that's what stillness brings, is that our ego is just it's our source of suffering, and it's like an identity we've created based on the stories we tell ourselves, our past pain, any like social labels we have, and then our need to feel special, which we might all have. We all have what we're talking about. Like, especially as a child, we're a little egocentric, little narcissists running around. But then as you grow older, you realize, oh, that's not a good way to be out in the world. So if you can try to dissolve your ego, you won't suffer as much. So being in stillness and letting your thoughts pass and being in nature and just taking awareness of your thoughts. It's funny, I'm thinking about stillness as I'm moving, but just thinking about that book again, I remember it was like stillness brings peace, and that's what I like, is peace, finding peace or finding balance. And stillness, what is it? It is that you just stop compulsively thinking, and when you stop compulsively thinking, you feel more peace. Is that little birdie? Hello, little bird. Yeah, there's something about you stop compulsively thinking, and that gives, like, you listen and you respond rather than react, and then none of your reactions will have like emotional charge. When you are in stillness, you're just taking things in and observing them, and not emotionally reacting, which people can do if they're not in a state of peace. They're in a state of like defensiveness and a state of, I don't know, ready to attack. Well, I suppose that's defensiveness as well. And if you take things personal, I think it also depends on your inner world and how well you are managing your inner world. Like, everyone's got their own inner stuff that they're dealing with, but if you're not managing your own inner world properly, you're going to be not in a place of peace, of course, and then all your reactions can be emotionally charged, and you're going to take things personally more. You're going to take anything that anyone says as an attack on you and your self and your identity and your ego. So you just got to let that ego melt away, and then you'll just enjoy your life more. Like, we are not our thoughts, and we are not the stories we tell ourselves either. We're just living beings. walking around. Look at that, that's a nice colour, isn't it? Yeah, and my practice I like to try is being fully present, and obviously it doesn't mean that it's happening all the time, especially now as I'm walking and videoing, but I will take my moments. But being fully present is how you can, or practicing being fully present, of course, like it leads to more peace and enlightenment, and that's why I like all those Eckhart Tolle style books and anything that is about letting go, let the ego go, let it melt, like soften your reactions to things, don't take anything personal. That book, The Four Agreements, is such a great book. So it's quite a short one as well. And then The Stillness Speaks by Eckhart Tolle. I would just give like book recommendations of things that I listened to or read. And then the Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, is really lovely as well. And then it makes me want to read those books again. But I don't know if I spoke about this last time. I was talking to myself. But this lovely book, The Tao of Pooh, talks about how we should all be like Winnie the Pooh. If you know Winnie the Pooh, the book, it talks about all the characters of Winnie the Pooh and how they represent different personality traits. I can definitely be quite like Rabbit and Tigger, bouncing around, hopping from one thing to another. But to find peace and to find less kind of resistance in life is to be more like Pooh. And that's kind of what the Stillness Speaks book says, is it's letting things be as they are, or I suppose not trying to control things and trying to make things a certain way. I suppose this is a lesson I need as well, because I was talking about having creative control earlier, but I definitely want to learn to just go with the flow. A theme of life. I think that's why I named my dance class the Go with the Flow. It was the theme that me and my mum were talking about when we were kind of coming up with the idea for the class. So this is last year, beginning of 2025. Before the Christmas, I had a plan to start a dance class, but it was more of a movement class where you come and you move freely however you want, and you let the music move you, and you move however you want to move. There's no right or wrong, which I love, because I feel with creativity, with art, there isn't any right or wrong. It's how you want to express yourself, and there's not like good or bad as well. It's funny because some people that came to the class would be like, "Oh, you're such a good dancer." But I'm not, though. Like, I just like to move, and I don't care about embarrassing myself, so I want to move freely. And maybe because I've done a lot of dance all throughout my life, I have like I suppose an influence, or I'm inspired by different types of dancing, so it gives me a little, I suppose, repertoire of movement, just different styles of movement. But everybody's a dancer. Everyone is a dancer from when they're a child, and we unlearn how to be free with our movement and expressing ourselves when we turn into awkward teenagers, and then only some of us keep that freedom to express themselves, and it comes into adulthood, or it comes back again. I think it gets a little rebirth, like a renaissance. This is a real stream of consciousness now. I think I started talking about Go with the Flow. That's what it is. So me and my mum came up with the idea for the class, and we were making our playlist to suit different rhythms, because we used to go to 5 Rhythms dancing, and it was so beautiful and freeing and lovely, and just a beautiful space to like express yourself. I got my sandy back now. And we came up with the idea to do a class together, and it was so lovely, so fun. I mean, there wasn't a huge amount of people that came, but I only did it from January until July. I think the most we got in the class. But it's not about that, is it? It's not about how many get in. I was just trying to create a space and facilitate the space with music so people can dance freely. And I do miss it. I miss such quite a bit, but I am getting some lovely experience of different dance classes here to influence me further. Who knows? Maybe go with the flow and come back again, because I'm going to keep going with the flow. Follow the flow. So this is Bora Point now, and I've left Maroubra Beach and I'm heading to Malabar Beach. It's a nice little walk. I do prefer a little bit more trees. Like the last weekend we were, it felt more like jungly and more like enclosed. Here's more like a cliff, like a coastal cliff walk. Oh, look, a boat. Oh, the zoom's not working. Okay. Haven't seen any snakes yet. Oh, look at those houses. Let's have a little look out. Some surfers windsurfing. Yeah, I was thinking more about that lovely book and how it coincides with what I practice with my yoga meditation. Like how stillness is noticing your breath and noticing your senses and becoming aware of just like little things around you, like this rock, for example. That's a fine rock, isn't it? These almost feel like lava kind of rocks, like if you're beside a volcano. I haven't been beside a volcano in a while. I have once though been inside a volcano. Went in one when I was with my family, when I was maybe, I've been 10, 11, 12, I don't know. Maybe I was younger even. Went to a place called Nissyros, like a Greek island. We went inside a volcano. Scariest experience. We went on a bus up to the top of this volcano to go inside the crater, and the driver had one arm out of the window. This is the story that my mum tells as well, so I'm not sure if I fully remember, but I do remember seeing it. But he had one arm out the window eating a chocolate bar, and he was chatting to the person next to him while driving up this very, 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 very narrow road with no barriers, and it was like a huge drop down, and then he'd have to overtake someone on this road. It's like that Ice Road Truckers show, if you've ever seen that. Oh my god, you fucking, your fist would be in your mouth. It was just like, and we managed to get up to obviously the top, because that's what you do on like those little tours, and you're inside the crater of this dormant volcano. So it's not dead, it's just asleep, but you could smell like the sulfur, and it smelled like rotten eggs. And there was someone that was talking about it, and I remember her pouring water into one of the holes, and like steam came up. I was like, what is she doing? What is she doing? Does she want to cause a volcanic eruption? I was probably only 9 or 10, so I was freaking out internally, not externally, just in my mind being like, what's going on? I can't control the situation. Anyway, that's when I was in a volcano last. Where did that story come from? Oh yes, the rock that I picked up. Just spotted some foilers. I think that's what it's called. My cousin Brian does that. Foiling. Where you're out on the water and you bounce up and down to like move more. And then they use the sail to catch the wind. It's pretty fun. I have yet to try that. I don't think I will though. I never say never. I just feel don't think I'd be brave enough. Not today anyway. Look, he's like going across the water. Great bit of wind for that. I think we're coming to the end of this little trail. Malabar Headland. Malabar ahoy! Whale watching. What does that say? I think it's only certain times of the year, like different seasons that you can do. Oh, whale migratory patterns. Okay, so humpback and southern right whales are regularly seen off the New South Wales coast on their annual northward migration, May and July. Okay. and the calf and mate for the following season in the waters. Their return journey occurs between September and November. I think that's when I did see a few whales. I saw some in Coogee, or from Coogee anyway. Oh, I'd like to see a whale in the wild. I'd really love to see orcas in the wild. I did see whales in the wild before when I was in, was it Tenerife or something, out on a boat? And they're like baby whales, but I have not seen a whale like that. Or a humpback whale. Interesting. So today in nature, it has taught me stillness, which I need to go and practice. I do practice meditation each day, but I have to admit my mind is not always still. But once I do my breathing exercises, that's where I am in the practice of stillness. So I'm excited for my yin yoga class later on, because there's going to be lots of practice of stillness. That is such a pretty sound. Oh my god. Is this like a mating call? Now, one thing I was thinking about from moving away and giving away nearly all of my personal belongings apart from 2 suitcases full, it was kind of like a shedding my skin, but it was a little bit liberating, being like, what do I need all this stuff for? Like, I'd gathered stuff like, you know, things for the kitchen, like, you know, nice glasses and lots of paintings and, like, I don't know, cushions and duvets and all this kind of thing. I'm like, I don't need to keep this stuff. Someone else can use it, and just gave a lot of it. Well, my mum, thankfully, gave a lot of it to the charity shop, putting it in bags. We brought it all in. It was funny because one of the days my friends came out to visit, we did a little tour around all the charity shops in Castlebar, and I recognised a lot of my clothes hanging up. I was like, oh, that's mine. But there's something nicer just about giving away things, and just really, what do we need? We have one body. There's 365 days in the year. You need some items of clothes that you can rewear, like some nice clothes, some clothes for the beach, clothes for when it's cold. But we don't really need all the stuff that we have. It's just stuff. Just let it go. I can hear an interesting sound, but I don't know where it's coming from. It's that bird. Anyway, no snakes today. Now this is sweet. Little paintings by some of the kids in the school. Look at the penguins. Oh, this is lovely. This reminds me of being living in Dublin when I was near, I think it's like Marion Square, is that what it's called? Mountford Square? No, Marion Square. Where did I live? It was Bagot Street, so whatever square is near there, because they would put, at the weekend, there would be like art put on the gates, and you could buy it, and just look at it, just enjoy it. That's actually what I could do with this, going into a lovely art gallery and looking at some paintings. I'm in need of culture. And that's a cute one. Ooh, Macy. Oh, I like this one. That. I'd like that on my wall. I might try and do that when I get home.